Ooh, pretty. Little glass snow scenes of the Discworld. Forthcoming production, Death Becomes Himself. I guess it'll be in pre-production for as long as it takes you to finish all these quests.
Oh, I'm in the mood for love. Love is the thing I've been thinking of. Love is what is on my mind right now. And also romance is on my mind as well. Bebop, bebop, bo bo ba doo doo bye. Oh, shata, 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 shata bye. Oh,
Why don't you leave this poor silver-bearded old woman alone?
Love? Never! I am Casananda, the second greatest lover who ever lived. And this woman's beauty, oh, she sings to me. Well, at least until my next challenge. I'm now ready for more women. Hey, I take them all on at once.
Oh dear. Right. Well, I'll just leave you to your hopeless task, shall I? Still, it seems a shame to see you wasting yourself on...
Why, Sting?
Well, a man like you shouldn't be content with second best, should he? For instance, I met a few women just recently. Dark, mysterious, energetic.
Where? Where?
Would you believe Jelly Baby? Clearly I'm dealing with inferior intellects. Which are hard to find, believe me. My word, I wouldn't like to get on the wrong side of that lady. Maybe there isn't even a right side. Thank heaven that stupid dwarf is gone.
Thank you, young man. I just can't imagine what he wanted. Now, what can I do for you?
What are you doing here in the morgue?
Practicing.
I didn't think it needed much practice. I thought it just sort of happened.
Oh, no, you have to work at it. Good grief, it certainly doesn't just happen. It needs work, man. And you have to practice if you're gonna do it right. There's your technique, your projection, and then of course there's control and endurance. Very important, endurance.
Endurance? But it lasts forever. That's the point of the whole thing.
What? Mind projection? I only ever have the energy to do it for 2 or 3 hours, and I'm pretty damn good, let me tell you.
Mind projection?
Yeah, into ravens and rabbits and such like. Very important witch talent, mind projection. Why? What did you think I was talking about?
Nothing, never mind. Just forget I mentioned it. Tell me, elves, are they in your area of expertise at all?
Oh yes, you've come to the right woman. Elves? I wouldn't trust those magic-wielding backstabbers any further than I could throw a very large heavy thing. And the elf queen is the worst. Glamour, you see. She can hold a man captive without uttering a word.
Ah, I see. The evil spell of her eyes, eh?
Can't say anyone's ever looked high enough to notice her eyes. You can find the entrance to their world in a stone circle near Lancre. But don't walk in. They spot anything that ain't unnatural, anything that ain't an elf, a unicorn, or an ogre without at least 3 heads and a major dental problem. And they'll have you sucking on your toes and singing tra-la-la-lolly quicker than spit in your eye. They'll do that too.
I better not store that away. The suffragesta. Doing what I can only call a tied-up routine.
Women want the joke. Jokes for women. Female jesters can be every bit as dried up and cliched as a man. We shall not be moved.
Oh, no, not again.
We shall not be moved.
What, never?
What? Well, obviously not never. I mean, there's calls of nature for a start. The protest would lose some of its majesty if I didn't nip off now and then for a quick, well, you know.
Oh, I see.
Then there's sundry other emergencies. I mean, if a tidal wave, right, came sweeping this way, right, then the protest itself could hardly be seen to suffer if I screamed in fright, untied myself and fled in the opposite direction. Just common sense, really. Live to fight another day, that sort of thing. Still, all in all, we will not be moved involuntarily. Except by calls of nature, calls of supernature, or through other extraneous circumstances that we can't really control.
Fine. Possibly the most carefully thought-out protest song I've ever heard. It seems to me there has to be a better way of doing this sort of thing. Have you ever considered maybe distributing leaflets?
Thought of it. But it's a bit hard passing out leaflets when I'm roped up here, right?
I don't think you quite understand my point. But then who does? Is it a good place for this kind of thing? I mean, is the university garden really the most effective place to be getting your message across?
Not really. Still, what it lacks in street presence, I feel it makes up for with a certain rural charm, don't you? Ah, sun in the trees, the wind in my hair, the rather interesting feel of hemp bounds as they restrain me. Are you married at all?
Excuse me, I think I hear my mother calling. Leaving us, of course, to ask the question, just how does she manage to tie up both of her own ends? Look, I'm afraid I have to be somewhere else.
We shall not be moved.
The suffragista, still in there and protesting like mad. I wonder how it feels to be swallowed by an ambulatory pearwood trunk. Seems to have helped clear up her complexion, actually. I might give it a try myself. Now there's the sort of fella you can rely on. Faithful, intelligent, arboreal. Still, there must be some good in him. I wonder which bit. Busy? Well, I suppose he works for peanuts. So, do you have any ideas about what I should do? I don't know if I want to just sleep on it. Every time I stop moving for a while, these flies start buzzing everywhere. Still, could be worse. Sometimes this zooming star field just seems to start whooshing straight towards my eyes. Sorry. You know, I think I need to get my eyes seen to. I don't suppose you've ever... No, it's silly, really. Forget it. Well, it's just... You look to me like the sort of person a friend could rely on. Turn to in times of trouble, you know, or even, for instance, ask to wear the front end of a pantomime horse suit. You do? Well, why didn't you say so? I'd have got you one long ago. It's about time our sort came out of the trunk. Why do I suddenly feel like I'm in a sports sim? OK, now we're cooking. Let's see me fall off it now. Now we're ready to take pictures. A film of Neolithic sheep artwork. Yes, not particularly interesting, but I still feel there's an award in this somewhere. Who might want proof that sheep come from a long way away? Primitive paintings of sheep preserved here just as they were tens of thousands of years ago. They are, of course, doing just exactly what sheep were also doing tens of dozens of seconds ago. Basically, sheep are just sheep. Primitive paintings of sheep preserved here just as they were tens of thousands. They are, of course, doing basically sheep are. Ah, the anthill, a marvel of nature. Such complexity, such assured instinctive engineering. A whole little society blossoming, evolving and growing right here before our wondering little eyes. Now let's go and find a magnifying glass. Say, can I perhaps beg the use of your working things out machine?
Oh, I would surely think so, seeing as the purpose of Hex is, you know, to relieve man of a number of his woes, and I must point out that failure of the machinery to work in whole or in part is not the fault of the manufacturer, who can in no way be held responsible, but will in fact ensure that you, the purchaser, are clearly at fault for buying the product in the first place.
But can I use your machine?
Well, no, not now. It's not working.
Goodbye for now. Nasty little blighters. Looks like I'll have to entice them out. strike a... I could try... What? Do you want me to make a pyramid out of that? Right, Hex, I want you to tell me the answer to the question, why?
There. Now that wasn't so bad. You see what just a little bit of patience can...
Shut up and tell me the damned answer!
Ah. Now let me see.
Well?
Oh. It says... because...
Is that all? Because?
Well, it also says... blip, 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 out of cheese error. Blip, 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 cannot find drive Z. Blip, 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 unrecoverable application error. Blip, 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 please reboot universe. Blip, 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 year of the sloth. Blip, blip, blip.
Oh, blip!